With ongoing wars and the crisis at the border, U.S. intelligence officials warn of threats at home and abroad. And changes are coming for groceries with that Product of USA label. The Morning Rundown starts now.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world. This is the Morning Rundown.
Today is Tuesday, March 12th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. Top U.S. intelligence officials testified before Congress on Monday, warning of threats at home and abroad. FBI Director Christopher Wray and CIA Director William Burns were among those who answered questions on America's safety at the annual Worldwide Threats congressional hearing. Wray faced questioning concerning the crisis at the border. Senator Marco Rubio asking about threats coming from those entering into the U.S. illegally.
Certainly, we have had dangerous individuals enter the United States of a variety of sorts.
Are we seeing crimes from people that entered the country over the last 3 years, some of them with ties to gangs or other criminal organizations?
Well, I guess what I would say is this. From an FBI perspective, we are seeing a wide array of very dangerous threats that emanate from the border, and that includes everything from the drug trafficking. The FBI alone seized enough fentanyl in the last 2 years to kill 270 million people. That's just on the fentanyl side. An awful lot of the violent crime in the United States is at the hands of gangs who are themselves involved in the distribution of that fentanyl.
Wray adding that there is, quote, no doubt criminals have entered the U.S. through the southern border, but the FBI is not aware of any specific plot. Officials saying other threats pertain to the wars in Europe and the Middle East. CIA Director Burns spoke of the importance of America's continued support of Ukraine in its war with Russia, saying additional funding would help Ukraine sustain itself as a strong, sovereign, independent country. Otherwise, he says he sees a much grimmer future for Ukraine and beyond.
No, I think the consequences of that are going to be felt not only by Ukrainians and in European security, but across the Indo-Pacific, where if we're seen to be walking away from support for Ukraine, not only is that going to feed doubts amongst our allies and partners in the Indo-Pacific, it's going to stoke the ambitions of the Chinese leadership in contingencies ranging from Taiwan to the South China Sea.
A month after releasing his report on the investigation of President Biden's handling of classified documents, Robert Hur is set to testify in front of Congress today. As special counsel, Hur recommended no charges be filed against Biden, but it was his criticism of the president's age and memory in his nearly 400-page report that garnered much attention, saying that a potential jury would likely find Biden to be a sympathetic, well-meaning, elderly man with poor memory. In response, the president delivered a White House address hours after the report's release, defending his abilities. In his report, Hur did note that Biden cooperated with their investigation, turning in classified documents, consenting to the search of multiple locations, including his homes, and sitting for a voluntary interview. While President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump seem to have their respective parties' presidential nominations locked down, it has not been made official just yet, but that could change after tonight. Georgia, Mississippi, and Washington State will hold primary elections today for both parties. There will also be a GOP primary in Hawaii. The Northern Mariana Islands and Democrats abroad will conclude their Democratic Party contest. Biden needs 102 more delegates to secure the Democratic nomination. 254 are up for grabs today. Trump, meanwhile, needs 140 to be the GOP's nominee, and 161 delegates will be available in today's primaries. Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry has announced he will resign following the establishment of a transitional presidential council. This comes after a high-level meeting in Jamaica with leaders of Caribbean nations to address the escalating violence in Haiti, where criminal gangs have taken control of much of the capital city and disrupted international travel. Prime Minister Henry, who has been unable to return to Haiti due to security concerns, made his announcement in Puerto Rico. Haiti officials confirming his intention to return as soon as it's safe to do so. To address the crisis, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced the U.S. would contribute an additional $100 million to support the deployment of a multinational force in Haiti, alongside $33 million in humanitarian assistance. A ship carrying aid for Gaza has set sail from Cyprus, carrying 200 tons of food, considered to be the first shipment of aid by sea to the region. Video taken by the Associated Press showed the ship being towed out of a harbor this morning. The group behind the effort is the World Central Kitchen, an international charity founded by celebrity chef Jose Andres. The group says this is a test run for the opening of a sea corridor to supply aid to Gaza amid the 5-month-long Israel-Hamas war. Separately, a United States Army ship is making its way to Gaza, carrying equipment to build a temporary pier to deliver aid. Finally this morning, if you're looking to buy groceries that are made in America, a new federal rule is hoping to make it easier to do just that, at least when it comes to certain products. The U.S. Department of Agriculture announced Monday that producers of meats, eggs, and poultry can only use the labels made in the USA or product of the USA if the products are derived from animals who were born and raised in America. Currently, companies can use the labels on meats that were imported from other countries. The labels are voluntary and will remain that way. But for companies who use them, the USDA says this new rule will ensure shoppers can trust the Made in the USA claims. These are your top stories for this Tuesday. Unbiased, straight facts. That's Straight Arrow News. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.